All right, guys, I'm out here early on a weekend morning. Normally, I got a guide trip on a Saturday. I've actually got it this afternoon. The people can't fish this morning. They're missing a beautiful morning. We'll see how the fishing is. It's gorgeous out here. You may wonder, what's the temperature like out here? Okay, I'm in the south. I've got on a hoodie. I've got on my bibs. It's in the lower 50s this morning. And normally, I don't put the date on these videos because usually the information in them is kind of non-date specific. This is the middle of June. It's extremely cool for this time of the year. I looked at the record high a couple of days ago and it was like 97 degrees back in 2008. And today we're out here and it's in the lower 50s. It's chilly, gorgeous day. It feels like early spring out here. The bad news is we're really rolling into the spawn. The last couple of guide trips, while we've caught 14 to 18 fish, it's that time where, well, things are, they're starting to spawn. Sometimes it cranks up later, sometimes it cranks up sooner. It's a interesting year. This year, it seems like the spawn is getting wound up a little bit earlier, at least on the parts of the lake that I was fishing. So, came to a different area today. The bad thing is, when I got to the boat dock this morning, I seen mayflies. And again, another thing that happens in June, you get the mayfly hatch. I noticed the other day when I went out to catch bait, I went out to catch some bluegill for a guide trip. It's hard to catch them, which was odd. I'd been really just killing them lately. For some reason, couldn't catch them. Get to the boat ramp this morning and there are mayflies everywhere. It's a lot of stuff that goes wrong in June. So we'll talk some more about it, but for now I'm gonna try to get some baits out, see if we can get a fish. That one is a little bit angry. That is on a cut bait. Let's see, where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? He is running. There he is, underneath every line we got. This fish does not know he's hooked yet. He's getting ready to. There we go. Yeah, that's me kicking the boat. Trying to get him to turn away from the boat. Well, he picked up another piece of, there he goes. Nice little fish. I think we can boga grip him. A male. He's mad now. There we go. Nice little fish. Come on, baby. I say little, he ain't little. Let's get him up here. Let him tire a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit easier to bring in if he ain't as green. Good looking fish. I took a piece of cut bait. I believe that was the head. Pretty fish. Heck yeah, ain't no mud on that one. Got some dark coloration. It's in that belly. Feel anything in it, no muscles or anything. Might just be some eggs. I'll call that one a female. Good shape, good color. Ain't no mud on that one. What's that one gonna weigh? Stop. Yeah, about 13 pounds. Bigger than I thought. Boom, there goes another rod right there. We got another one. Let's get this one back. Get on that fish. There we go. I think we're gonna have a mess here. First one on cut bait, this one on a piece of chicken. Heck yeah, sometimes they come in flurries. Take them any way we can get them. I'm gonna bet maybe this is a male. It was the male that was with this one. That's a major assumption. Very unscientific. Looks like another female, to be honest. Yes, sir, looks like another female. 8, 9, 10 pounds, 10 pounds. A little bit of color. Not a whole lot of bite marks on these. Maybe a good sign these ain't totally spawning. That one eating chicken. Let's get them back alive. Yeah, guys, that's 2 fish back to back. Kind of in the same little area, you know. Were they traveling in there as a group, a school? Who knows? One thing I do believe is that when one fish feeds, it will incite and excite other fish to feed. It's why when I'm drifting and trolling, I love having my perch rods out. It seems like if I can get those perch to bite, I can get catfish to bite. It happens a lot of times. There's been many times, if you're watching my videos, we catch a big fish and then you catch a smaller channel catfish right there with it around the same time. They can sense when stuff's going on in the water. Maybe they clue in on it, and that's what makes these fish bite back to back like this sometimes. So it's pretty cool when it does. A couple of blues look like females, not a lot of bite marks on them. Don't know if they're, you know, not spawned yet or have spawned. It's hard to say. Even 2 to 3 weeks ago, we were starting to see males scarred up out here. You could tell there was some initial stuff going on. It gave us all some concerns that things may be starting a little bit early. We got 2 today. Actually better fish than what I've had the past couple of days on guide trips. We'll see if there's any more gonna feed out here. Hooked up. Old chicken bait fish. It's funny, sometimes it's, I like to get out here before the sun gets up really early. Most people's favorite thing about a sunrise is sleeping through it. Mine is fishing. Sometimes they bite before that sun gets up really good. And some days, it's after the sun gets up. That's what's happening today. These fish are more active when the sun's up. Try not to lose this fish. I think he's hooked pretty solid there. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Ah, he got me all twisted. Stop it, stop it. Got it. That blue cat's got a little mud on the belly. Looks like a female. Looks like a female. Nothing really in that gut. Nice fish. Yeah, got some mud. Been down there nosing around, it looks like. A little bit of marks on the side of it. Nothing crazy. Better get back down there and do some spawning. There you go, guys. That's fish number 3 in the boat. About every time I look at my watch and go, I'm giving it 10 more minutes. About the time I get to that 10-minute mark, I've caught a fish. So, yeah, it started off, sat here for about probably 25 minutes without a bite. And then, boom, caught those 2 back to back pretty quickly. I said, you know what? I'm going to give it about another 30 minutes. And was looking at the watch, and, man, it was close. Got another bite. So 3 fish. You know, no super huge ones, but they're all blues. We had a lot of channel cats the past couple days on guide trips, and that was one of the things that was telling me that spawn may be cranking up. And these look like 3 females here, and these are all blues, so could be the part of the lake too. I was in a totally different part of this reservoir fishing. Not all fish spawn at the same time in a particular body of water. A lot of times it can be kind of a regional thing. You may be able to ride 10 miles and nothing's happening yet. We're finding fish. There's some fish biting. Just got to be out on the water, keep the baits in the water, put your time in, and sooner or later, some of these babies has got to eat, whether they're spawning or not. Got one going on the cut bait. Boom, hooked up, hooked up, hooked up. There he goes. He's under all kinds of stuff. He's heading back to, got my sun hood on there. This one's on cut bait off the side. I think this is the rod no, different rod we caught. This is the head here. It's a big piece of bait, and this is not a giant fish, but he hit it like a freight train and took off. That makes me happy. It's gonna be liftable. Simmer down, sassy. Shoot. Man, I almost threw a cooler in the boat to keep some fish to eat. I've been wanting to cook some. That would have been a good one right there. That'd have fed us. That'd have fed me and Grayson today. Great, wife's out of town. It's a good time to cook fish. She don't eat fish. Look at that. Beautiful. Looks like I'm in a place that at least is holding some fish. But let's get this one back. All right, guys, there's fish number 4, another female. That's like 4 of them up in here. Why are they here? You know, the other parts of the lake I've worked on these guide trips the past couple of days, it's been some really small juvenile fish and some channel catfish, and that's been about it. No fish in this size range. And then all of a sudden, boom, I'm finding these. Why are they here? Well, they're probably staged up to spawn and have not found a suitable male. That will happen. It's not always a perfect pairing out there in the wild. They wait for whatever the suitability is. I don't know how all that works, how that magic is figured out by them, but they look for the partner to pair up with, and a lot of times there's not enough males to do that job. It can take some time. That's why I've seen eggs squirting out of females as late as, you know, into July. And luckily for us as anglers, it doesn't always happen, you know, widespread across the lake. Doesn't happen, you know, everywhere in the lake. So you can find some areas where there are some fish. The bad part is you got to cover some water to do it. If you're in a boat, that's a lot easier. If you're on the bank, it's really tough. That's why this time of the year it can can be tough, so don't feel like the Lone Ranger out there. If you're able to cover water in a boat, it's a lot easier. If you're in a place where you got bank access to a lot of different areas, you know, you can be okay. You get into a small reservoir, man, it can be tough there, because a lot of times that smaller body of water, it kind of will happen kind of quickly and at the same time. Good news with that is it can wrap up quicker, so it can kind of be concise and done. So you got to take the good with the bad. It's all part of fishing. This right here could be a turtle bite. I've seen people talk about this online. Oh, they're playing with the bait. They're playing with the bait. They won't eat it. It was doing it a minute ago. It's kind of bopping off, bopping off. A lot of times it's turtles. They'll hit one of these baits. They'll kind of try to walk off with it. They feel some resistance. They'll drop it. You know, they'll come back, they'll hit it again, and usually they keep doing it until they chew the bait off. It happens. We're in shallower water here. Typically, that's where you're going to encounter your turtles. So if you get kind of some of that peck and bite, it moves off, it gets dropped. That can be turtles a lot of times. Guys, we got another one going on the chicken. Another smaller fish. This may be even a channel cat. Got a little head shake going on. Yeah, it's coming in very easily. Let's see what we got here. Feels smaller. Ate that chicken without a problem. That is a channel cat. We do finally have a channel cat. This is what we caught a lot of yesterday, folks. We had a bunch of these yesterday. It's funny, they're starting to show up a little bit. We had a streak there where we couldn't catch any of these things. I would have swore they're not in the lake anymore, but that was pre-spawn. They're getting a chance to eat now. Down back alive. Oh, the old channel catfish. Finally had one to hit. It's funny, on this lake we used to have a pile of them, and blues were the minority. Now it's the other way around. We still got channel catfish, but man, the blues just outcompete the channel catfish to eat. But I love catching the blues. I wish we had big channel cats. Big channel cats, man, if we had 10, 15, 20 pound channel cats, that'd be awesome. But that ain't ever happening here. So we got what we got, and I enjoy what we got. I'm thankful for what we got. Thankful we have a spawn. Spawn shows that the fish will reproduce and be here, and kind of a you know, self-perpetuating process that has to happen. There's a little downside to it for us for a little while, because it's the time of the year when we want to be out here fishing. Things are warming up. It's summertime. We're out of school. We're on vacation, and it's time to fish. It's also the time when the fish got to do what they got to do. So if you can make it to July, it'll get better. That's what I always, you know, say. If you can make it to July 4th, that's always my target. It seems that's about the time the turnaround starts to happen. Between the mayflies messing everything up right now, and the spawn going on, it's still a great time to be alive. And if you can get out on the water, man, you're blessed to be able to do that. So get out and enjoy it. Might have a big fish here, guys. Let's see. I should say bigger fish. He blowed up on top. There we go. Another chicken fish. It's a good bite. So much for the spawn killing things. I think it's very much area specific. We'll try to get this one in first. He's not as big as I thought. Could be a male. Let's see what we got here. Oh, no, it looks like a female. Simmer down, sassy. Got it. That's that one. Right at 13. Another fish, little bite mark on it. That's usually a good sign. Doing a little spawning, little aggression. I'm gonna bet a female. Based on that mouth size, I know the biologists may argue with that. I'm betting that's a female. Got some bite marks there on the back. You can always tell that some stuff is going on. But good fish, good fish.